press the bell icon on the YouTube app and never miss another update.
Infantry to get foreign rifles, others to get made in India. The Army's highest levels have arrived at a vital decision that could open the doors to buying new rifles for the entire Army, while remaining within a strained procurement budget. The decision is to equip infantry soldiers with a world-class assault rifle, while non-infantry soldiers would get a cheaper, less effective, indigenous rifle. Earlier, the Army had planned to procure some 800,000 state-of-the-art assault rifles from the global market, each costing about Rs 200,000. That would have cost about Rs 16,000 crore, significantly more than what the Army can afford. Now, Army Chief General Bipin Rawat has decided to buy only 250,000 assault rifles from the international market, and issue them only to combat infantrymen, the frontline foot soldiers who are directly in contact with the enemy. The remaining 550,000 Army soldiers who are authorized rifles but serve mainly in non-infantry arms and services will get a new indigenous rifle. The Army will choose between the INSIS 1C, designed by the Defense R&D Organization, DRDO, and the GATAC, designed by Ordnance Factory, Turkey. These are less lethal than the infantry's assault rifles, but also significantly cheaper, at about Rs 50,000 apiece. Saab and Adani Group JV to produce AVS, military copters. A joint venture between Swedish defense giant Saab and the Adani Group is looking at producing a broad portfolio of products including AVS and helicopters for the Indian Armed Forces, besides eyeing a $1 billion deal for supplying fighter jets to the Indian Air Force. Ashish Rajvanshi, head of the Adani Group's Defense and Aerospace Division, said the joint venture was focusing on developing foundational capabilities to produce a wide range of products in the aerospace sector for the domestic as well as export markets. In September, Saab and the Adani Group had announced a collaboration in defense manufacturing entailing billions of dollars of investment and said the joint venture would produce Gripen military jets in India if it won the single-engine aircraft deal. Chairman and Managing Director of Saab Group's India operation Jan Widerstrom too said the JV was not only eyeing the lucrative fighter jet deal but also looking at other areas. Rajvanshi and Widerstrom said the joint venture was aiming at building unmanned aerial vehicle, AVS, military helicopters and various other aerospace components and equipment with a broad focus on developing a world-class ecosystem for the aerospace sector in India. India's homegrown Nirbhay cruise missile ready for fifth trial. After 2 consecutive failures, the Defense Research and Development Organization, DRDO, is gearing up for a fresh experimental trial of India's first homegrown subsonic cruise missile Nirbhay with a hope that the weapon system this time will not let them down. Hectic preparations are underway at the Integrated Test Range, ITR, off Odisha coast as the missile has been scheduled for the test next week. It will be 5th launch of the missile in the last 5 years. The launch window has been set for November 7 to 9. Final checks of the missile subsystems are on and hopefully the missile will be ready for test in next 2 days. A team of experts are monitoring the launch preparations. We are planning for the launch on Tuesday, said an official associated with the project. Quadrilateral meet that includes India should not hurt us, says China. China has hoped that a US-brokered quadrilateral meet that includes India, Japan and Australia is not aimed at China and would comply with the trend of times which it identified as peace, development, and cooperation. A senior U.S. government official had said last week that Washington was keen to have India, Japan, and Australia on board for a productive engagement, while Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe is likely to propose the same arrangement between the four powers when President Donald Trump visits Tokyo on Monday. India has responded positively to the proposal, saying it has an open mind to cooperate with countries with convergence but obviously on an agenda which is relevant to us. The Chinese Foreign Ministry said it has noted the development and hopes that such an arrangement will promote mutual trust among countries in the region and not harm Beijing's interests. India's Air Force beefs up the Ladakh front as a search for a new airfield is expected to revive IAF's Nyama airfield project. In the aftermath of the Doklam crisis, India is now planning to develop more airfields in the eastern Ladakh area along the China border so that it can rapidly deploy troops in large numbers in case of any misadventure by the neighboring state. In Ladakh, we have realized that deploying troops for a long time or throughout the year is not feasible. Harsh winters and rough terrain make the job all the more difficult. This is why we plan to develop airfields where we can deploy troops in large numbers using air assets, a top defense source said. The Air Force is scouting airfields in the area from where the transport aircraft of the force can land and take off whenever required, the source said.